Alright guys, I want to talk to you about this Ghost Edge connector. This is a newer product out on the market. Ghost has a few new products out on the market. And how I found out about this one was somebody who had one in their Glock told me to try their trigger out. And I had never felt a Glock trigger that had that much of a difference by changing the connector. And I mean a difference for the good. And I'm going to explain those differences to you so you can kind of understand what the difference is if you're thinking about getting one of these. And by the way, I highly recommend this, just so you know up front. I have had several different connectors through the years. I've started with the standard 3.5 years ago and tried different things through the years. This is the one that was in this Glock 17 frame before I put the new one in there, before I put the Ghost Edge in there. And this was one that was supposed to be some great connector, which it wasn't bad. It's a 3.5 connector, and then they said that they milled the sides down. See how it's skinnier in here than a standard connector? And they said there's less surface area for the trigger bar to rub on, and it'll be a lot better. I gotta tell you something. This is a 3.5 pound aftermarket connector. It's milled down, it's supposed to be even smoother. And there's still a unbelievable difference by having this Ghost Edge trigger connector in there. I got this on eBay. The guy's name was NDZ Performance. It's a sporting goods store, and they have over 100,000 sales with a 99.9% rating. I paid $21.95 on eBay. That's the lowest I could find it while searching the web. And it was just here in a couple days. But basically what it says is what it does. I think it says it on here somewhere. Bump-free trigger connector for Glocks. Now, those of you guys that are familiar with Glocks and different handguns and things like that are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? So I'm just going to kind of show you. This is kind of hard to be able to explain to somebody what it's like on video, but I'm going to show you, what the big difference is and explain that, okay? Gun's clear. I can see the chamber's empty. Okay, so when you pull this trigger, it is a consistent, smooth pull all the way to the rear. There's no bump, is what they call it, the bump. There's no stopping point. It's not like you pull up slack and then the trigger hunches up and then it breaks and you know where it's going to break. The trigger has a feel that it's the same pull from the front to the back. It's a very smooth feeling and a very crisp break. Now, I would go as far as to say that if you do not have a custom trigger job done, that this is the best trigger you could have on a Glock without having a complete custom done by a gunsmith. That is how strongly that I feel about this this Ghost Edge 3.5 pound trigger connector being in this gun. I have no affiliation with Ghost or the company or anything to do with them, so that tells you that I'm not biased in any way, which is a good thing. But I got to tell you guys, outside of getting a full-on custom trigger job by a gunsmith, I don't think there's anything better you could do to this gun than this trigger connector. It just, to me, it changes the trigger pull of the gun. It changes it from what it's always felt like to me to something that is much better. Now, here's what I want to express to you guys. These 3.5 pound connectors, they really literally only take down the trigger pull of a Glock by about 1 pound. I know they all stamp them 3.5 pound connectors, but if you don't change other springs in the gun and you leave everything factory, it only actually takes 1 pound off if you put it on a digital or a trigger scale. So basically, if the Glock triggers 5.5 to 6 pounds from factory, you put this in and you're running with about 4.5 to 5 pound trigger pull. But see, here's the thing that where guys get confused and that a lot of people do not realize, and that is that if you want to get a better trigger on your gun, it's not necessarily lightening the trigger pull. It's the smoothness and the break of the trigger. So it's not about saying, can I shave off half a pound? Can I shave off 5 ounces? What can I do to lighten this thing up? If you have a butter smooth feeling trigger that's the same weight as a trigger pull that's sloppy, you are going to get more accurate, more consistent hits at the range. So you don't have to have a 2-pound trigger pull to shoot more accurately, but it's the smoothness of the trigger. Being smooth from the front to the back gives you less tendency to hit a wall and then pull off shot and then pull off target. Okay? So the gun's going to be safer in your hands because you shoot it more accurately. You're going to have more fun with it. You're going to be able to practice better and get better by having a trigger that's smoother for you. Okay? Because this, from the front to the back, is the same pull. There's no block and no wall that I come up against, and I know you gun guys know what I'm talking about. It's the same all the way to the back, but it's just so smooth. I'm telling you guys, you guys know me, and I've, a lot of you guys have been with me for years on here, and I'm telling you, I have never before, since I've owned a Glock, seen a single part to put in that made such a difference in this gun. And I'm truly mean that. It's something that I highly recommend for you to try out, and let me know what you think about it. I think you'll be much better at the range. I'm very excited now to shoot this gun. I've got a whole spring kit coming, just the Glock OEM factory springs. Just wanted to change those out, put new ones in, and very excited, guys. My ammo has been shipped. It shipped out yesterday. I got an email, so I got a pretty big load of ammo coming. So, all right, guys. Hey, it's Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. I know I'm going to. So, all right, guys. Until next time, have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you later.